All right, guys. I just got back from the movie theater, took the kids and the wife, and went and watched Super Mario Brothers. And I gotta say, it was absolutely awesome. Critics are 100% dead wrong, heads up their ass on this one again. But we kind of come to expect that, right? Because they're all Disney shills. All these critics think that if they trash an Illumination movie, that Disney is going to, for some reason, give them their little gift bags or some VIP press passes, behind the scenes crap, the usual stuff that you do when you're basically like suckling on the teat of Disney. But don't buy into whatever the critics are saying about this movie. It's sitting at a 54% from the critics. Right now it's at a 96% from the audience. I gave it a 5-star. Was it a perfect movie? No, but a perfect movie virtually doesn't exist at this point. Was it everything it should have been? 100% and more. But let's go through a little bit of the critic reviews, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on the movie, kind of a point by point. I'm going to keep this short. It doesn't really need to be a long video, but I do want to kind of go through a few of these really bad reviews here. So from this Alison D'Souza gal from the Straits Times in Singapore, which is kind of weird, but okay. The Super Mario Bros. Movie's trite and forgettable storyline could have used a power-up or 3. I mean, if you're going to use words like trite to describe Mario, maybe you shouldn't be reviewing a Mario movie. That's just kind of my view of it. Gave it a 2 out of 5 star. This one here, a Day-Glow's Sugar Rush that will leave the most rabid gamer bewildered. Super Mario Bros. The movie gives the 8-bit hit the poppy computer animation treatment, but it ain't worth 2 bits. 1 out of 5. That's rough. This one here, top critic James Berardinelli. Wow, that's a mouthful. I found myself wanting more, as if I was only getting part of the experience. But the Super Mario Bros. Movie is not intended to work in the same way that conventional films do. It's not about cinematic enjoyment, it's about expanding a brand. Which, to be fair, all movies, all franchises are about expanding their brand, expanding their audience, and making money. That's what Disney has forgotten. If you paid any attention to the Disney investor shareholder calls when they were calling in and ripping Bob Iger a new one the other day, the thing that Disney has forgotten is about A, making money, and B, keeping the audience happy, knowing your target audience. So, from Stephen Prokopi, entering these various worlds and kingdoms felt more like an assault on the senses than a visit to any sort of magical destination. The subpar animation style doesn't help sell the wonder of it all either. That one I take personal issue with, because nothing about the animation was subpar. But this is the kind of crap you get. This is the kind of dribble you get from these people who think that they're all that in a bag of Doritos. They're just completely full of themselves, sniffing their own farts, and it shows with these reviews. So if you go back to the cast and crew here, I will say right off the bat, Chris Pratt surprised me. I thought it was going to be disappointing. What they did with his voice was actually fantastic. Seth Rogen, I was pleasantly surprised by. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And of course, the star of the show was Jack Black. Jack Black as Bowser. It is so funny because this week we saw Jack Black in The Mandalorian, and it was... I didn't watch the episode. My wife watched it, and she told me, you have to watch it. It's worse than you could think it is. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I saw the clip with his costume and with Lizzo, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not watching it anymore. But Jack Black was absolutely the star of the movie. Fantastic as Bowser. I could not believe how much I loved his character. He was great. My only critique, and Kevin Michael Richardson was great too as Kamek. My only critique was Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. Surprisingly, I did not like. When he first started talking, it didn't sound like an old man. It sounded like Chris Rock. Like, I don't know what he did with his voice, but something about Fred Armisen's voice was not working for me as Cranky. Other than that, the entire cast, the gal that played Peach, she was great. I mean, it's a very simple movie. Again, don't overthink it if you're going to go watch it. It's supposed to be fan service. It's supposed to be family friendly, and it's supposed to entertain you for an hour and a half. It did all those things and more. It was absolutely fantastic. I have no complaints about any of the rest of that. Some other things that I think were definitely high points were the animation. I don't know what that guy was talking about, but the animation was fantastic. Let me mute this. I don't want to get copyright struck. Everything looked great in the movie. Just down to the texture of their hair, their skin, the lighting. The music was another thing that was wonderful. I loved the music. The way that they scored the movie was fantastic. The Easter eggs hidden all throughout was just incredible. Every 5 seconds, it seems like you're seeing something that's just kind of tucked away in there. Definitely, I feel like if I went back and watched it again, I'd see more Easter eggs than I had before, because now you kind of know what you're looking for. And above and beyond all that, it was just the right length movie. They didn't drag it out. They didn't try to do too much with it. It was about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, I guess. And it was just perfect. My wife was saying maybe there were some missed opportunities. They could have gone down some different directions, like some other, like the Mario, Luigi's Mansion type stuff, because they had that scene where Luigi's by himself when he first gets to the Mushroom Kingdom. But to be honest, I kind of feel like they're saving that for when they get to a sequel. So, and even if everyone's concerned about Princess Peach being like a Mary Sue, she was fantastic. Her character was great. Everything made sense. Nothing seemed forced. I mean, they knocked it out of the park. This movie is going to break $1 billion easily. Disney has got to be freaking the hell out right now because they know that this is a massive missed opportunity. But yeah, I'm giving this 5 stars. Absolutely, 100%. Go see it. Go see it again if your kids really like it, if you can afford it. It is definitely worth watching in the theater. The critics are full of it, as you've come to expect at this point. But yeah, 100% worth your time. And that's just my take on it. But let me know what you guys think down below.